You ever have that feeling that you just need to go? Just pack up everything and leave? Well, I've had this feeling for some time. And let me tell you, leaving has been the worst, best decision I've ever made. So where do I begin? You see that guy right there? That clueless, awkward dude just living his life? Yep, that's me. Hunter, not S. Thompson. I grew up in Nevada, joined the Marines, worked on jets, explored abandoned buildings, and inevitably left all that behind to get here. So how did I get here, you might be asking? In truth, I could give you endless answers. I was alone. I felt stuck. Life was boring. The list goes on. No, the real reason why I started traveling was because I felt like I was living a life I was told to live, not one that I had chosen for myself. So what did I do? I stopped living that lie and started seeking the truth. The day has finally come. I've given up everything that I once held dear to live in a trailer and see the country. I don't know what lies ahead, or even what to expect, but I do know one thing for certain. There's no going back now. So here I am, exploring the world. You know, you go your whole life expecting it to go one way, and then you wake up. Things you took for granted become luxuries. We get so caught up in the world that we forget to stop and listen. So caught up in our own lives that we stop seeing how extraordinary life itself can be. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I've been taking the greatest luxury of all for granted. Time.
Apart from the sunrise and the sunset, apart from the light and the dark, apart from the clock, what is time? Irreversible phenomenon.
A very, very small moment.
Continually dripping away.
The centrality of death in all of its various forms.
You're never gonna get it back.
Our assessments of value, our decisions, our desires, our choices depend essentially and directly upon it.
You're always moving forward into a future in which your death is approaching.
This subject at least professes to concern everyone.
To grow powerful and grow rich, but not grow up.
It will call no attention to its own swiftness.
It's not gonna last too long.
Time flows, time passes.
We're gonna lose everything.
You will find for yourself an extraordinary sense of having no time at all.
So I feel like we don't truly understand how important our time is. Like we take advantage of this finite resource as if we have an infinite amount of it, when in truth, all we have is right now. Like it's kind of crazy to think that our time can run out at any moment. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be 10 years from now. So to quote 21 Pilots, and if it wasn't already clear, I think about the end just way too much. I feel like I'm constantly just being pulled away from my goals and my aspirations because of fear. Fear of humiliation, fear of judgment, fear of love, ironically. And it's become a daunting task because I know that all I need to do to face these fears is to pursue truth. But that's become the most difficult task of all, if I'm completely honest. It's daunting because I have to accept it. To live a lie is to live a life not grounded in truth. And I can't have the energy for that anymore. But I will say that traveling these past few years has really helped me come to terms with the shortness of life and the beauty in the moment. Reconnecting with family and friends and being immersed in different perspectives and experiences has really shown me the simplicity and joy of life. At the same time, it's also made me more afraid, just knowing that when we begin to think about the moment we're in, it's already in the past. Really what I'm getting at is, in order to stop living in the past and embrace the present, I set out on this adventure to live in the moment. And that led me here, to explore this abandoned bridge in the middle of nowhere with my brother. I think it's cool how we talked about this so long ago, and now we're finally here making it happen.
I'm excited. I think I'll be more excited when we get there, because we are toking a lot of weight.
Look at this tunnel, bro.
Wow. That's unreal.
This is crazy. It is so nice in here. Yeah, look at that bridge, man. So to give some context as to why I'm so fascinated with time, I need to take you back a few years to when I started exploring these insane abandoned buildings all over the country.
Look at this place. That's sick. This is beautiful. You can't get views like this anywhere. If they see me again, I'll get arrested. Not a soul will be seen. No way. My adrenaline's pumping, so I don't feel anything but words cannot describe this place. Like a logo, you know? That was insane. The stuff, the sound there out of this world. Take a moment to take this all in. Just go throw yourself back into the past like this.
And while I don't explore too much anymore, I always wanted to explore this one abandoned railroad bridge.
Nicknamed the Impossible Railroad, the Great Goat Canyon Trestle.
As dangerous and as difficult as the journey would be, I knew it was something I needed to experience before I inevitably ran out of time.
Yeah, there's some big gaps here, man. Coming up on the first tunnel we're gonna go through. We just came up on this tunnel and now we see a big old gate. You can see it. We're gonna have to cross that. It's gonna suck.
That was tough.
6.5 miles in.
After 8 gruesome miles with over 150 pounds of gear, we finally made it to the bridge, and boy was it a sight for sore eyes. But in order to truly live in the moment, we collected our thoughts and prepared for what would inevitably be a duel to the death. As ridiculous as this all may seem, this trip reminded me to appreciate the joy that can be found in life.
All I know is rip that pussy.
Love you, Grandpa.
Ever since I started traveling, I've been focusing my time on loving deeper. And really, that's been the hardest part of life for me. Learning to appreciate the chaos and sadness with the peace and joy. In all my time traveling, and all my time before, I've realized that learning to live is learning to love and let go. That every end is a beginning. These past 2 years, I've made more sacrifices than I can count. But in those sacrifices is where I found life. I explored more. I laughed more. I cried more. I loved more. I started living like I did when I was younger, but with a better understanding. I forced myself to show up and created some of the most memorable experiences of my life. Before I began this journey, love gave me a temporary purpose, but the loss of it had brought me to the end of life, where I felt the unbearable weight of my decisions in one singular moment. I was sitting in church the night my marriage began to fail, but instead of listening to God, I abandoned Him. Over the next 3 years, I faced pride, shame, guilt, divorce, imprisonment, and even death. And in the midst of it all, He was there, patiently waiting. I was blind to Him then, but now I see. I see the light that is love, the light that is truth, and what it really means to be free from the despair of this world. As this chapter of my life ends, another begins. Part of me wishes I could stay here forever, in these moments. But the funny thing about time is, the more I try to hold on to these moments, the quicker they fade. There's joy in letting go. We may not believe it in the moment, but in time we'll understand. It wasn't until I let go of my life that I found it. I don't understand it myself. Here's what I can tell you. I was one way, and now I'm completely different. And the thing that happened in between was Him.
Here, hold out left. We got Nate and Gerald hiking up in front of us right now. Gerald, give us a cheese for the camera. Give us a hey. Gerald. We're so stupid.
This is Hunter Reed, and welcome to Jackass. Send it! Send it!
Oh yeah,
Plenty to look at. It'll be cool.
You're cool. Really? You're gonna not even accept that compliment? Wow.
I want them all. Look, I could totally. Oh, that's still recording. You. Oh, give me that back. Give me that back. No. Oh, stop. No, Chrissy. Oh, Hunter got a lot of leverage on you right now. All right. Beep, beep. Pop. Take me to your leader. Pop.
Okay.
It's the stupid thing. Oh.